Welcome along to the Lazy Heretic Podcast. I am your host, the Lazy Heretic, also known as Jason. With me is my wonderful co-host, back in the captain's chair, Papa Tay.
Yo, what's up?
Archbishop Cardinal Papa Tay. How's it going?
You know, pretty chill, you know?
Pretty chill. That's
chill.
good. That's good. You know what? By the time that this podcast goes up, which will be the day after we record it, because it takes me that long to put it together, it'll be December, and we'll be in Christmas season.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas
So I think we should do a Christmas special.
Oh, we should so do
a Christmas special.
Where we tell you all about how Santa Claus is the real Jesus Christ.
That's right. And so, what I thought we'd do
I stipulate sarcasm on my previous comment, just in case anyone was wondering.
If people have listened to this podcast long enough, bro, they know that we are sarcastic.
I know, but come on, man. How many times have people heard me say things and been like, what?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So good. And so I thought we'd do Christmas-themed podcast. Well, actually Advent-themed, because if you know the church calendar, you know that Advent is the 4 Sundays before Christmas Day.
It's Christmas.
Yeah. Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
It's Christmas time.
Yeah, it is. It is Christmas time.
I was doing the head bobbing as well.
Christmas time, mistletoe and wine. That's Dave Lyle Morris's most hated Christmas song of all time. I love it, man. I love it.
That's so bad.
I love it. Sir Cliff Richard, Harry Webb. Mistletoe and wine. The most overplayed Christmas song of all time. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Oh, yeah.
When the Michael Bublé CDs come out.
It's the most wonderful time.
And you just start hearing Pentatonic's Christmas album over and over again.
Do you know what, though? I heard someone saying that there's that song, Mary, Did You Know? And someone was like, of course she knew. The angel told her. The angel told her, your child will be the Son of God. His kingdom will have no end. He will sit on the throne of his father David.
I don't know how much
he will
clearer.
save his people from their sins. Like, she might not have known that he would walk on water like that, you know, but she knew that it was the Messiah.
Okay. Sorry. Tangent. We're already on a tangent. I'm going on another tangent.
Okay, go on a tangent.
Oh my goodness, have you heard Beyonce's Walk on Water song?
No.
Oh, honestly, I already knew that I'm pretty sure she's a mini Antichrist, but now, actually.
Really?
That song is so bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm going to look up the lyrics right now.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
And
you keep talking while I'm looking up the lyrics. I will judge them harshly.
So anyway, we're talking about hope. So
yeah,
I will,
because Advent is...
the hopeful season.
No, but Advent is, there's 4 themes in Advent for each
loving
Sunday.
Season.
Yeah. Hope, peace, joy, and love.
I know. So, I was going through them, but you
you were going through them out of order. Keep going.
Matter.
Keep going then.
Do them whatever.
Keep going.
It's like the fruits of the Spirit, you know, when you sing the fruits of the Spirit song and someone puts the wrong one in the wrong order. It's a struggle. Yeah. Anyway, so today, hope. We're talking about hope. And a little bit of Jason's nasty stuff later, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Is this the Eminem and Beyonce song?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to...
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
Just read it, and then
Okay.
Okay, you're reading it. Okay, go.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
We're going to dive into the Bible.
Yeah, Jason reads this anti-Christy song.
The heathen. I know if you love Queen Bee, my apologies to you, but she's just not a good person. Well, she probably is a really good person.
She's probably a nice
person. But I do think that she's doing a lot of stuff that seems very pro the other side. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go to Romans 8:28. So if you have your Bibles with you, please move to that.
The cardinal is in the pulpit.
Yeah. Open your books to Romans 8:28. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them. For God knew his people in advance, and he chose them to become like his son, so that his son would be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. And having chosen them, he called them to come to him. And having called them, he gave them right standing with himself. And having given them right standing, he gave them his glory. I love this verse. Actually, this whole chapter is amazing. This in my reading from the NLT version, which is my personal favorite book to read from.
Good, bro.
This heading is called The Future Glory. And it's really, it runs from verse 8:18 to 30. Yeah, to 30. But I just read from 28. But it basically just talks about the fact that because Jesus came and he gave Jesus his glory, we are also able to partake in God's glory and God's love. And I love that. I think it's like, what more hope can you want than God has already promised us his glory, that his glory will wash over us. And that just,
yeah.
quality.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think we forget about that, though, don't we? Because we're embodied creatures. We live in time, and you look around. How hope-filled is the world at the moment? Like, I counted. America is involved in 4 wars at the moment. 4 different armed conflicts around the world. That's just America.
That's not including the
secret wars that they are carrying out.
Secret wars. The secret wars. This is another episode of Secret Wars. I mean war inside their own country. I mean the war on poverty inside their country. I mean, America.
I mean, you just talk about armed conflict and lack of hope like that, but you also, you're talking about
I'm talking about the fact that
down.
like America as a first world country has third world poverty all over the place.
Yeah.
Like we look at America and go, oh, they're the land of the plenty, and we go, well, actually, no. They're the land of the 2% with plenty. They've got a huge amount of poverty over in America, right?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. It doesn't seem very hopeful because we live in the now, and we often forget, like it's easy to forget that there is a hope for a future, And I think when you look around, it's easy. Like you can understand. Like I know you used to call yourself the happy nihilist.
I am a happy nihilist. Yeah, sorry.
But like, I think that you look around and you can understand why that kind of philosophy.
Why I used to be a happy nihilist? Yeah.
No, not why you used to be a happy nihilist, but why that particular philosophy was so popular, because it essentially says that there's no, like I've got a quote here about this from an actual nihilist person. I know, funny, right? He says, and I quote, and
Jason, have you been reading nihilism?
No, I haven't. His name is Donald Crosby. And he says, there is no justification for, this is a nihilistic worldview, right? There is no justification for life, but also no reason not to live. So he's like, why should we be alive, but why should we die? He's kind of like, there's nothing in life.
I mean, this just sounds like one of the pre-Socratics, right? Being like, everything is not, it's either being or non-being.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no in between.
But those who claim to find meaning in their lives, okay, so people like you and I are either dishonest or deluded, right? That there's meaning in life. In either case, they fail to face up to the harsh reality of the human situations. So, like, you could see, like, he's talking about the harsh reality of the human situation. Like, that's totally, like, a thing. Like, yeah, of course, you and I just talked about it. We look around the world, and harsh reality, there's poverty, there's suffering, there's injustice, there's death, there's sickness, there's disease, there's, accidents that happen. Like, I heard of a woman my age, 34 years old.
Yeah.
Died of cancer, left 3 kids behind and a husband. Yeah. You're just like, how does that fare? And you look around and you can get overwhelmed by this and go, yeah, what's the point? So you can see, like, hope is a really relevant topic for us. And I think Advent, this time, just as we prepare for the coming of Jesus as a baby, is a great time to think about it. Like, I think.
Yeah, and I think hope, it's a really difficult one, because you kind of got to go, and you just kind of step into that cliched, like, remember what Christmas is really about giving and blah, blah,
Yeah.
From a secular worldview.
Yeah. It's about families coming together and eating nice food and giving gifts.
But like, it's like you talk to lots of people, and they're like, the family unit is like not even there. Like, you go, oh, what are you doing for Christmas? And they're like, oh, I might, go see my parents or something.
Yeah.
Like people like it's weird because like I always get hyped for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Like my family.
You just took your mic away.
Oh,
so
sorry.
I don't know if we heard that last part, but yeah.
I get really hyped for Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
just
your
clarifying.
family,
because my whole family comes over. There's like 80 of us, and we it's crazy. Like
That's awesome.
We do some crazy as like Christmas caroling to like 1 a.m. inside our house, and then like we then go to sleep, wake up like 4 hours later, and start eating like stupid amounts of food and chatting and it's like one of my favorite parts of the year is like that one day of like getting to see my big extended family and like chatting around and that's awesome and yes, I know there's people out there who don't have family and all that kind of stuff, and that's really, really hard and really sad. But I just struggle with people whose family units are broken up, and they just, they don't want to see their family because there's just so much bad blood there. And it's not that I don't understand it, and it's not that I say it's your fault. I just go, man, that just sucks.
Yeah.
Like that's where I think hope is also lacking. It's just like the family unit in general is just broken. And I think that's a big part of it. In the secular world, at least. Yeah. Not so much the Christian world, because Christian world has at least the idea that, Jesus is hope, right?
Yeah. I think that's what we remind ourselves of at this time. We're just going to take a break from our discussion of hope because I've decided right now at this very moment that we're going to do a weekly heresy, and we're going to start at the very beginning because that's a very good place to start. And
I told you Jace was going to chuck in some crap here.
Yeah, that's right. And so the first heresy, and in case you're wondering, heresy is the promotion of false belief about God. The first heresy that was ever dealt with by the church, do you know what it was? You do, because I told you. Do you out there in podcast land know what it was? I didn't hear any answers.
This is the first recorded heresy.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was others.
Oh, it's probably others. But
the Jews were heretics, let's be honest.
Oh.
At some points in their lives.
Like, let me say that the first you just took me totally by surprise. Just like, whoa, the Jews were heretics. I'm just recovering from that.
Struggling.
The first recorded heresy.
That's really racist. No, some of the Jews were heretics. Let's put it that way. That's way better.
The first recorded heresy was with the Judaizers, right? And they were people.
Judaizers have Jew in it, right? Okay, keep going.
Good. I will. The Judaizers were a group of people within Christianity who essentially said that you need to keep the law in order to be saved. So you believe in Jesus, you do all that, but also you got to eat the foods, keep the feast days, go to temple or go to synagogue,
pray 3 times a day.
Yeah, and do all of the religious
Jerusalem.
All the religious things. On top of that, because that's how you get saved. That's how you get into God's kingdom. There's big sections of the New Testament that Paul wrote against those people, saying like, Christ cancelled the law with all its demands against us. He nailed it to the cross. We don't have to do that anymore. At one point he says like, I wish that, and a lot of it was around the law of circumcision.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wish that those people who want you to be circumcised would just go the whole way and just cut it off. Just like, whoa, dude. Okay. So like that was the first ever recorded heresy, and it's it's not true at all. Like as Christians,
it's like
I just
laugh because actually I was studying this the other day in of itself, and it's just like so wrong. Like God's just so clear. He's just so clear that the law doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Like,
that Jesus was sent to so you didn't have to follow that law.
Yeah, the law of Christ to set us free from the law of sin and death. Yeah. And so we obey the moral laws out of gratitude
and reverence,
out of response to what God has done in us, and out of the empowering of the Holy Spirit, not out of any kind of legalistic religious, you have to do that, otherwise you're going to hell.
But they also the Bible talks a lot about the failings of the law and how